Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Productions. Today I'm back up once again by Jimmy and Adam.
I'm surprised you actually did it in the right order.
The Spice Lord has officially arrived. I am here.
And today's matchup is me versus Adam. Adam's brought back an old deck from the past, Majin Buu, green one to be particular, and I'm bringing out Magenta because I'm allowed to play it. Right, Jimmy?
Are you? No.
Man, I called you like hours before the event. Like, I don't want to make two decks. Can I play this deck?
You called me in panicked. I thought somebody had died, and you were like, "Please tell me I can play the Magenta leader."
Judge, I need to play this deck today.
Can I get my entry on round one so I can play my deck?
Like always, just buttons down below. Feel free to click on the deck for a reason. Let's get today's matchup. Before we get to Magenta, why are you bringing back Majin Buu?
Yeah, so there was recently a new Z leader for the Green Majin Buu, and I also got the, I guess they were the tournament winner cards of the Black Majin Buu that's also mono green, and I thought that it would be a good idea to bring it back, and Majin Buu is one of my favorite characters, so I figure why not give it a try.
I would never guess that you were a Majin Buu fan.
What are you talking about?
I will say, your turn one play made me realize it's going to break down possibly to who can control whose hands faster.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I kind of had a little bit of a heads up about what the Villainous mechanic was going to do, which is just get a bunch of cards out of my hand, but
And you hitting a super combo on your first auto is amazing.
Well, it's par for the course because every time that I'm on video, something bad happens to me. So
that's how it always is. You have to like break the curse eventually, and then you pass it on to your opponent.
Yeah, I'm going to keep doing it as long as you guys will have me. I'll keep being on camera, so we'll break it eventually.
I will say though, I was afraid that you're going to out hand control me though, because I feel like you draw more than I do with your deck. Especially with that draw two, like just off the bat. I mean, you have to lose a life for it, but you are drawing two in your hand immediately.
Yeah, and this deck really what I'm wanting to do, and we can go over Magenta here in a second, but just what the Majin Buu deck is trying to do is get down to 3 life, Z Awaken, because my Z Awaken leader is a 20k that allows me to put 1 card from my hand underneath my leader and draw 2 as an activate noon.
Yeah, and you still won really my cards too.
Yep, still one of your cards, either from the drop or from the battle area. So while it may look like it's a hand control, it's more of a board control, in my opinion.
That is gross. Also, if I remember correctly, this archetype likes to play a lot of cards from the drop area anyway, or at least absorb cards. So
absolutely.
You're almost Villainous in a way is just cutting out the middleman of putting the combo area, or putting those cards in the combo area to get them in the drop. So I can see how this is a big uphill battle, especially when you're just dropping Ribriands.
Yeah, he dropped the Ribriand. Also, I put dice on the Towels and the 1-drop black battle card as a reminder that their skills are negated for the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's 1 Villainous a turn, or maybe 2 Villainous a turn, where I discard 1 or 2 is not bad. When you're starting to get 3 or 4 of these guys on the board, that's when it really starts to become problematic.
Yeah,
for any deck, I think. Even these red decks that draw a ton.
Green has really strong, consistent removal, so that is definitely kind of scary with Villainous, where you want to keep a board and you want to keep pressure of Villainous being able to trigger 2 to 3 Villainous per turn. So when you're constantly getting your board removed, you really don't get to play the namesake of the deck.
I was kind of excited that you swung towards my life on that first attack and not my battle card.
Yeah, there's with any new set, there's a bit of unfamiliarity on what the targets should be. For in most cases, you try to hit face as much as you can, but you didn't have any unisons or anything like that. So I was just okay. Well, let's go for life. So I'm already. It looks like turn 2, and I'm already awakened. it's while Villainous is not fun to pitch cards, I'm not necessarily scared at this point in time. But
and right now it's just one card because it's just one card by turn 2, one card by turn 3. But where it starts to get interesting is how I had to respond during your turn, or if you allow me to continue building a board in the later turns.
Right. And that leader Magenta lets you play one for free, kind of like the old Bergamo.
It takes one energy, and it has to be
okay.
a villainous card with an energy cost equal to or less than my current energy.
A very interesting way to make the deck play on curve, and still be able to give it like big boss monsters that you can play for cheap, but you have to get to that point of the game, which it's really interesting to me. I like how this deck was designed.
I will say that AUD is a big deck where it feels like it can get overwhelming to play against because it reduces the leader movement specific cost. The 1-drop reduces the cost in general. That just feels so crazy. And then going to this deck, where it's like, I'm gonna be able to do this, this, this. It's like, oh no, I can just practically play one a turn and just hold out. That's it. Because most of the good ones, or actually all of them, are 2 or more. So like even in the later turns, like I pay 1 to play one, and then if I want to do anything else after that, I have to turn around and then tap 2 or tap 3 to get a second one on board for that turn. Unless I'm just trying to spam the 1-drops, And you did counterplay the which one did I play? It's glared now. I was looking away when I played it.
It's the black 1-drop.
The big turtle looking guy.
The Gramasa or whatever the fuck.
Okay. Oh yeah, because I paid 1 for that. Because I actually was going to play Beerus originally, and I was like, oh wait, just in case he has a counterplay, I don't want to risk that. So I held off, and you did play that, so I was able to play Beerus afterwards, and you told me to draw 2 instead, which is kind of what I want.
Especially when you're trying to get down to 3 life like that. I think it's smart to take that off of take that into hand instead of letting that go to the drop.
Now, I will say that was also clear that card saved you another card in your hand too. Now, this turn is very interesting, mainly due to a confusion on Adam's part.
What? That's crazy. I'm never confused about anything. I play confused, man. It's all a ruse.
So you +2 on your Unison, and you swing into my Beerus, and you say no combos. Okay, cool. It just bounces. Revenge only works when it's being attacked or when it's being targeted of the attack.
Yeah. Yep.
And I even let you do you want to take that swing back or something? You're like, no, it's on camera. Let's do it.
I gotta learn. Gotta learn somehow.
Revenge is one of those skills that it's so rare to see it on a card now that I feel like we should see that skill more. So when it does pop up, people are more familiar with it because there's so many questions about how does Revenge interact with a Unison, how does it interact with Barrier, like all of that. Adam's not a new player, but it's confusing to new players as well. Even established players. I know almost every time Revenge comes up, me and Jake have an entire conversation about it.
Yeah.
There
was also the future future Gohan deck. One of the negates didn't necessarily negate the attack, but it gave the card Revenge, and it was like, okay, does that work? Because it happens before all this shit goes off.
Oh gosh, I remember when that the King Vegeta that was a whole big confusion thing too.
So the grossest thing I've ever seen in this card game was Aaron playing Milnimba, playing awe-inspiring SSB Vegito, and then dropping King Vegeta on it and giving it Revenge. And it's like, okay, there is 0 removal in this game at this point. Put every single card you have into this, and I'm going to mill you out immediately.
All right, so here I'm awakened, Z awakened. So I can take one card from my hand, put it underneath my Z leader, and I draw 2 cards, and then grab one from your board or from your drop.
Yeah,
But you didn't keep a drop, thank you.
well,
Made my choice easy.
there is one in the drop,
Yeah.
which I would have been fine if you took because you would have to discard 3 cards to even do the other effect, and I kind of want to keep the one drop in my drop right now because it works with another negate in my hand.
Yeah.
So here, since you took away a battle card, I'm able to play Frieza just fine because I only have 1 Villainous on the board, and kind of go more over Magenta deck. Every card you're playing is Villainous, so on plays, if you have a Villainous card who hasn't procced their Villainous skill yet, your opponent has to discard a card for it. And if your opponent can't remove the cards fast enough, and you get like 2 or 3 cards on the board, that initially is a discard 2, a discard 3 on plays. Like right here, I negate it with a Frieza. And then I negate it with I can't remember that card's called all of a sudden.
Playtime's over.
Yeah. And it plays the 1-drop black battle card from my drop. Now, its skills are negated, but it's still a Villainous battle card due to special traits. So Frieza is able to proc because of that. So I still was able to get you to discard 2 cards during your turn. And now I'm going to my turn. The 1-drop gets his skills back, and on my first play, you're going to have to discard 3 cards because it's going to proc all 3 of their abilities.
Yeah. It's it's really nice when you can't control the board like the deck is supposed to.
Yeah. And I'm able to now neg out your board and have a triple striker going towards you.
Broly is so gross.
Yeah. Now, it does only gain, because I think in our match, I was like, all right, cool, I passed turn, it loses triple strike. You're like, it loses triple strike? I'm like, yeah, it's just for the turn. Like, oh.
I was literally licking my chops saying, I can eat that one.
But, so, kind of go over the deck, though. Outside the ability skill, every card has a unique effect. Either it works great for the deck itself, or it works great for the deck it's kind of adjacent meant for. So, like, Broly is a 4-drop, just when it's played from hand, gains triple strike, and then on play, negs out the board. Now, you can play this 4-drop in a red Broly that uses extra cards to play from your deck. You won't get the triple strike, but you can play it as a way of blasting the board. The Enter 13 on play negs a card out by 10, or if you play in the Enter 13 deck, has an Activate main, which kind of cycles cards from your drop, which is pretty nice. So I like, we talked about it a lot last week, but I like the versatility of that. And this is a good play. It definitely slows me down. So.
Yeah, it was, I knew that I had that one obviously in my hand, and it cost 2 green in order to be able to play it in the Activate battle. So I used the Senzu Bean in the swing ahead of time to, rather than stand a blue and a green, I just restanded the 2 greens. So. We don't have a unison, so that was great to get one of the 2 effects, but still not a bad card to have on the board.
I don't know if I were to play unison, what it would be either, you know? Because, like, I'm going through every colors. So, like, I don't think there's a reason to play unison, period. You have to play like a one cost unison, so maybe like one of the black ones. Yeah.
Well, and it's a good SCR to have, but I think that the Great Ape is slept on. I don't have Broly, so I don't know if I can play that in my deck. But I plan on getting the premium box, so I should have a copy of it. Maybe I'll take a look at that too.
Broly, So Broly plays if you pop. I think it's either a 7 or 8 drop on your field.
7 drop.
7 drop.
7 or more.
And don't you have to empty your hand out too?
No, so you have to be you play it on the pop, and then if you have 1 life, or you do have to empty your hand out, but then if you're at 1 life when you attack with it, your opponent dumps their hand.
And does that have to be a green card to pop at 7+, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It really frustrates me. It's an Agent Destruction secret rare that is completely pointless put into an Agent Destruction deck.
Oh, boo-hoo. And the age instruction doesn't get more support.
We all know that you love AOD.
Yes. So it looks like because we got a little sidetracked, I comboed off the one drop, immediately just played it again on you. And you had one card left in your hand, and it just happened to be this beautiful card.
Yeah, but I did misplay, and they're gonna roast me in the comments. I should have done one of my Ribriannes first, and then played the man on a mission. I get it, guys. I get it.
We talked about it afterwards, actually.
Yeah, there's nothing below, guys. Okay, don't comment on this. Engagement is not important.
But this is what makes Z deck so good now. Like, even though you have no hand, you may still have a play, but you only have one Z energy, so it's a little bit harder for you to do anything. But if you had more there, you could have done something.
Yeah, and I have the green Goku, the one that plays for one that goes up to 15K. But I mean, at this point in time, you've got 4 life left, so it's kind of like, you know what, let him have his glory, let him feel good. He runs the channel. So.
And here's, there's different thought process here, and this is like my second time playing this deck, and this is actually I thought about afterwards, like variants of this deck, what would be better to do and whatnot. I just wanted to clear your unison, but what I should have done is just kind of poked at you first and then played Huragan and made you discard those cards. Because
he discarded all those phantom cards in his hand off of that Huragan play.
I know.
well, I did just get a homicidal clones off of my life, so
I think what you're actually supposed to do in that situation is put your Z deck in the drop area.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So here I was like,
Judge.
I was kind of a little bit frustrated. I was like, damn it, that was such a line of play that I just missed. And I was like, okay, fine. I'll just activate the main here. If you have another counter, you happen to get off your life. Because you're opening energy. You could draw into anything. I was like,
yeah, right.
I'll get the draw off this. It'll benefit me if you want to activate any more counters.
You can see me holding the one card with both of my hands, willing it to turn into something other than what it is, which is a 1-drop Majin Buu for 5K combo.
Bancroft doesn't know what the card does. You just tap one and say negate.
It's just like Baby Hatch. You just can't attack the rest of the turn.
Yeah. No, you can't read it. It gets bottom deck. It's a secret area now.
Maybe I should run some commemorative photos in my deck. Maybe that would have worked better.
Oh no, this is a misplay.
Oh wow, look at this guy.
Do I get a win, Judge?
That's a misplay.
Oh my god, we can't go one damn video. Holy shit.
Well, because Gamma is removed specific cost.
Yeah,
so like,
I know.
I just realized that was a misplay at the very end. Oh man.
Wow. First Matt and now you. I just can't trust anybody. I better read my cards and know my plays, or your cards and know your plays. I think that's what's supposed to happen.
Just say the last phrase of that word and we'll end this video up.
Let us make mistakes so that you don't have to, and fluff out.